facebook.com/Murdaugh. The stormy weather this past weekend led to a busy day for first responders in Beaufort County. As News 3's Andrew Davis tells us, they are offering some important reminders to anyone who gets on the water this season.
2 water rescues within just 3 hours on Sunday, one of them behind me near the Broad River Bridge. Experts say rough tides and swimming, kayaking, and boating don't mix.
The current was probably more than what they anticipated, and they ended up getting pulled out.
That's what Clay Imager of the Beaufort Water Search and Rescue Team says happened to a pair of swimmers off Harbor and Hunting Island on Sunday. They ended up 400 yards offshore, and even though they had boogie boards, they still had to be pulled out by rescuers from Fripp Island.
I wouldn't venture out any more than waist deep in something like that, maybe even in knee deep, depending on what your swimming level is. Because you're not swimming against the current, it's not going to happen.
Just hours later, Burton Fire helped rescuers near the Broad River Bridge with a pair of kayakers who got trapped at sea.
Probably because of their size, a lot of people think, oh, it's easier to handle than maybe a boat or something bigger, and they go ahead and they get in the kayak, they get in the waterways. They're not familiar with the waterways.
While they were lucky and got out safely, officials say you can't just look at the sky. Our area will get effects from a storm hours or even days before it hits.
Look at the weather and say there's a small craft advisory and look at the water, so it doesn't look that bad. It must be mistaken, but it's not necessarily for that specific moment. It's for what's coming or what could develop. So take all those warnings and advisories very, very seriously.
We had a small craft advisory in effect. You know, there's not a lot of boats in the water yesterday for a reason, and they have motors. You know, it wasn't conducive for an outing in the kayak yesterday, in my opinion. But if you're going to go, 1, make sure you got your flotation device on. 2, some form of communication like the VHF that I'm holding here, handheld VHF. They're fairly inexpensive, may save your life one day. Channel 16, Coast Guard, call them. They'll get the help you need to you right away.
The officials say definitely call 911 if you think there's something going on that someone will need help, but don't leave it there. And if an operator calls you back, be ready to answer again with more details. It could be the difference between life and death. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Communities across